What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. But for today's video, my Chef Talking reviews, I will be reviewing My Adventures with Superman, episode 7, titled Kiss Kiss, Fall into a Portal. Hopefully you guys are caught up with the episode. A lot of spoilers ahead. Very excited. We have already been had the pretty much the first 7 episodes going into the 8th with I believe it's going to be like a part 1 and a part 2 uh for the next 2 episodes. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. But yeah, a lot going on in this episode. Like I said, episode 7. Mainly, it was like a Lois Lane centric episode. A lot of things was going on, a lot of reveal. They showed a lot within the multiverse. I see this became like a running theme amongst all these movies and shows and everything, where with the Flash going on, the Marvels, with all this multiverse characters they've been showing. So this show is like one of them too. So now we see different versions of Lois Lane. So so we start the episode off with Clark from continuation from the last episode. We see that he's making a chart, basically trying to balance his life, the two out with Superman and Clark, so him and Lois can basically have a normal night out or date with each other without the distractions of him being Superman and with everything going on, especially with her finally finding out his secret, and then with them making amends with the fact that she feeling like he, didn't tell her the story and everything, and that she lied to, or he lied to her, or whatever. But we all know that Superman usually doesn't tell his secret or his identity to people, just basically for safety reasons, to protect the people that he with, because we all know that the more people that knows his secret, the more people that's in harm or can be in jeopardy to be used against him. So it's understandable. But so we see that, and then at the same time, Clark, he gets a visitor, like we saw in the trailer. We see Mixer-Pitalik, or Mixie, just to keep it easy on the tongue. But we see Mixie, this intergalactical being, or somebody from another dimension, from the 5th dimension, I believe, come interrupts Clark in his planning. He convinces him that his Lois is in trouble, that he has to follow him, which is kind of funny and strange that with Clark just meeting him for the first time, that he went along with him. But I guess by him being just new and not knowing everything with him and his powers, and with everything with going on, with people coming from space and different places, he might not be familiar with everything, that he's too trusting if somebody's like somebody that he loves is in trouble. And I guess that's why Mixie played off of that and got him to go with him. So we see that he convinces him, he goes along. At the same time, we see Jimmy and we see Lois. They're going down the street. They're preparing for their date, or for Lois's date with Clark. So then we see like a big portal opening up. Big reveal. For spoilers for you guys that didn't watch the episode, we get a glimpse of what I feel like was a cool nod to this character, but they call it the League of Lois, or League of Lois Lane. Pretty much consists of the different versions of Lois throughout the universe, I believe, or just throughout the different Earths. So so it started with Earth Prime Lois Lane from believe from the 30s, because I know she was created in like 1938. So the OG Lois Lane. So it started with her, but I guess they was put there in place to protect the timeline and protect the Loises or protect, everything or things from happening or prevent Clark or Superman. So I think so. It's just a reason behind why they put everything together or why they created this league of Loises. So hence they come to this Earth to get Lois Lane to let her know that her Clark is in danger because we see that he goes along with Mixie, but to them they feel like he's a threat. So she meets her different versions of her. They bring her on the ship, her and Jimmy. Jimmy gets to meet his counterpart from another Earth. Uh, we get to see a Jimmy Olsen version. I can't remember what was her name, uh, Jamia or something, but I'll make sure I put it in the box along with her picture to correct myself. But yeah, so he sees his counterpart, which is cool. Um, like they was on the ship like this, so they fanning out with each other. They both we see that they both are fans of the sci-fi and basically the weird and the unexplained, where they both have their own Flamebird accounts and Flamebird podcasts where they go and they have their alter ego online fan. So it's cool to see that these two Jimmy Olsens are still, or the doppelgangers of each other are still the same at heart, even though they're on different Earths or different universes. So that's cool to see that. Like I said, we see the different characteristics of Lois Lane. She's been brought on there to basically to get used in order to keep them out the way, in order for them to go capture Mixie and now her Superman. So, you see Lois on the ship. She get a chance to meet these different versions of herself, where she's kind of disappointed in herself, where all of these versions pretty much did a lot at a young age. While they was 18, 19, they Pulitzer awards and a lot of journalist awards and things like that. A lot of accolades at a young age. So that was cool to see that. So now we see that Lois is kind of questioning herself, but we all know that each version of yourself within the multiverse have their strengths and have their weaknesses, but they all are known for something. And we see that Lois is mostly close to the OG Lois Lane, which we see later on when Mixie talks about it. But um, cut back to Mixie and Superman. Pretty much, Mixie takes him to this museum of the heroes to pull a heist to rob this place to get the OG Lois's Lane tape recorder, kind of explaining where the headquarters is of the Lois Lane, where the league headquarters are, so he can go back and find something there that he needs. So we see that all along that he tricked Clark to go along with him, saying that Lois was captured, that Lois was in this room, where in fact it was just to manipulate Clark in order to use his strength to go through these doors and unlock everything and pretty much guide him through so he can rob this place. We all know Mixie, his character is pretty much a lot of chaos and a lot of fun to him, but a lot of destruction wherever he goes. And he likes to manipulate and likes to play games with people. So we see that a lot, especially against Clark, because we all know that Clark, his weakness is Lois. So by him being a young Superman, that he just learned in himself that he was able to be duped by him. So now going back to the ship, they figured out where Clark and where where Mixie was. So they find them and goes to that timeline and goes to that place where he's at. But at the same time on the ship, we see that it's a room that is hidden, that they don't want nobody to go to. Typical Lois. They journalists, they nosy, that they go figure it out. So she used her handprint to get into that room, just kind of see the archives and see what's happening. So like I said, she gets a chance to see her versions of herself and everything. And at the same time, it was something, some sphere or something that she was able to get, that we're going to see in the end what was that revealed when we get to that. But yeah, so fast forward, they found Mixie. They got Superman now. They chasing them. They use their kryptonite weapons to go after them. They detain our Lois and our Jimmy Olsen. They detain them on the ship, pretty much revealing that they only brought them there just to keep them from stopping them from from capturing or from taking down their Clark. So they use the weapons on him. First time he feeling kryptonite. So they capture him. They let Mixie go. He leaves with their ship with our Lois on there. She figured out his plan, and they just go along, and they goes to this museum where we see a montage, which is a cool. I love this part too as well. That as well as Superman in the Superman mythos, as well as him being the main character of the whole mythos, that Lois Lane, she pretty much plays a big part as well, just like his like Ma and Pa Kent. It plays a big factor in his story and him becoming Superman, especially Lois, because she's the love of his life. So it was cool that we see basically the hall of Lois's. We see from the animated universe, from the Superman animated cartoon. We see the comic book Lois. We see the different versions of the Lois's, like the costumes. I see the Supergirl or the Superwoman, which was Lois Lane. You see that. So that was cool montage and a cool honor of, to show and to highlight Lois Lane. So shout out to her and her character. I like that. So our Lois, she get to learn all of these things about herself, that what her future is going to be. So we know that's going to play a factor later on, and probably about how she chooses and how she begin to treat her life now going forward. So now we in this museum. We see all along that Mixie, all he wanted was his hat. He got it. Now it's a lot of chaos going on. He got his full power that he's trying to take over. So now the whole game gets them. They come back, figured out that Superman is not the threat. So they go back now where Mixie and them is to stop him. Pretty much stop him in the end, where that Jimmy Olsen, or like I said, that Jimmy Olsen basically allowed them to go back to their Earth, and they just go ahead and take Mixie after they capture him, take the hat, and pretty much take him back to jail or in prison, wherever he was at, and put the hat back to where it belongs, back in the museum. So now that they on their Earth, Lois and Clark, they go off to themselves. We see the end. Fast forward, Lois still got this spear, trying to figure out what it is. Mixie, he somehow got out of the prison. He shows up. He pops up to Lois and lets her know that he's still around and that she's going to figure out this secret herself. Where we see in this ball, in this sphere, that it shows basically the evil counterpart of Clark. We see all the different versions of Superman. Almost look like the Injustice Superman. evil Superman or some other versions. I have to find out which ones those are. But yeah, we see that. So now she's afraid. Now she has this little piece of kryptonite that she don't know what it is, and our Clark, he doesn't either. So going into this next episode, hopefully we get the answers that we need, and that pretty much wraps up that episode on that cliffhanger, showing her what the future can hold with another version of Superman if he's evil or anything like that. So that's pretty much it with that episode. Going into the next episode, it's going to be a part one. I believe the episode is called 0 Day Part One. So yeah, so stay on the lookout for that. I will be doing my review on that as well. I will be posting my trailer breakdown for that episode too. So make sure you stay locked into my channel. Also, hit the notification bell so when I post a video, you guys won't miss out. You guys will still be a part of the conversation. And also, follow me on my socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I'm on the Twitter still. It's X. We all know they changed the name. But Snapchat, I'm on the Threads. Like I said, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Follow me there because I post videos and I post updates on there as well. Then also come join the community. Go to my Patreon page and become a member at SymCast Podcast /patreon.com. I've been working on a lot of things over there. I have some merch coming out that's on the site now that's available for top tier patrons. Some rewards for you guys, some shout outs and some fun things over there. So make sure you go ahead and join the community. So until next time, like always, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Peace.